Okay, sorry.
Disturbing entities from the logs of the SCP Foundation. There's a lot to get through today, so let's not waste any more time. I'm Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scariest SCP creatures, part 4. Starting off at number 10 now, we have SCP-2316. 2316 is a manifestation. It's a manifestation that appears in an undisclosed lake somewhere in the world. It's a manifestation of a group of human corpses that float on the surface of the water there. Subjects who have witnessed this report that the bodies are of human beings that they recognize, typically from their childhood. Subjects have often tried to enter the lake to touch the instances of 2316. They find, though, that touching one of the bodies will cause more of them to appear around them in the water. This will draw them further into the lake. Individuals who enter the lake in this way are lost forever, and to date, none have been recovered. Next up at number 9 now, we have SCP-939. If you just see a picture of 939, it looks like an amphibian. A scary amphibian, but an amphibian nonetheless. This isn't any normal amphibian though. I'll stop saying amphibian now, I think. 939 is also known as With Many Voices. These predators are bright red, each one as big as a large adult and weighing over 400 pounds. They appear to have almost no vital organs. They lack a nervous system, heart, or digestive tract, and their long heads have no eyes. The only noticeable facial feature is their long red teeth. These creatures have no brain, but that hasn't stopped them from developing an intelligent hunting tactic. If you remember earlier, I said it's known as With Many Voices. Well, that's because when 939 kills a person, it learns their voice forever. 939 will then use their voice to lure in the next victim. 939 will call out for help, and then when the person gets near, it will kill them with a swift bite. If by some miracle the victim manages to survive being eaten whole and can escape, 939 has one last trick up its sleeve. It exhales an amnesia-inducing chemical, which leaves the victim forgetting what just happened to them. This lets 939 try its voice trick all over again, and this time it won't miss that bite. Moving on to number 8 now, we have SCP-3063. 3063 is a telepathic Class 5 reality-bending fly. You heard me. That's literally what it is. On the surface, it resembles an adult male housefly. It is currently believed that only one manifestation of 3063 can exist at any given time, but that is yet to be confirmed by the Foundation. Manifestations are considered destroyed when they have sustained damage that would be sufficient to kill a normal fly, at which point it will manifest somewhere else on Earth. 3063 will promise an individual anything they desire in exchange for an unspecified price. These offers will include large sums of money, the love of other individuals, political power, and reality-bending abilities. It's able to read the minds of the individual to tailor its offer to them, but it won't discuss anything other than the agreement. Now, of course, there's a catch. After 6.5 years, fertilized eggs will appear and hatch in the person's lungs, throat, stomach, intestines, sinuses, ear canals, and even their rectum. The newly emerged flies will then consume their host whole and breed with each other until the host dies, producing over 50 million flies. So guys, if a mind-reading fly offers you a large sum of money or power, just walk away. That's my advice. Next, number 7 now, we have SCP-5131. To talk about this one, I have to first talk about SCP-513. 513 is a rusty cowbell. It's covered in rust, which the Foundation has been unable to remove. Any noise produced by 513 immediately induces a strong anxiety in all sentient beings who hear it, regardless of their current mental state. They report feelings of being watched and having elevated heart rates. Then, roughly an hour later from this time, subjects report seeing 5131 when opening doors, walking past mirrors, turning their heads, or performing any action that results in a sudden change in visual perception. Descriptions of its appearance are largely unreliable. Test subjects are unable to provide complete accounts of sightings due to their exhaustion and degraded mental health. Upon being sighted, 5131 reportedly turns away and runs out of view before disappearing without a trace. Subjects are then stalked, assaulted in their sleep, until being hounded to their untimely death, usually by suicide. Moving on to number 6 now, we have
So at the left side of this section, let's place in 2 iron doors at the middle of this wall with buttons on each side.
SCP-1983. Now from the outside, 1983 resembles a chemical plant. It's been nicknamed the Farmhouse, and in my opinion, it's one of the creepiest buildings we've talked about in an SCP video. Here's the thing, if you enter the farmhouse without leaving the front door open, you can't leave. It's that simple. The door that would have led back outside now just leads to different rooms. You're now trapped in a maze, and you're not alone there, but that's really not a good thing. This alternate reality is inhabited by strange creatures said to be made of shadows. They can only manifest themselves when strong light is cast, so you're advised to go against your own instincts and try and stay in the dark around them. In one of the rooms, you will find a giant pile of human hearts. Yeah. This one ain't pretty. If the creatures do get a hold of you, they will reach right through you, into you, and pull out your heart as if it was an apple on a tree. Then your shadow will crawl out of the heart, only to become one of the shadow creatures. Most of what the Foundation knows about 1983 comes from a journal written by an SCP agent who got stuck in the room and slowly lost his hope and sanity. The Foundation's website contains some excerpts, and it doesn't make for very light reading. Next up, SCP-012. So, 012 was titled On Mount Golgotha. It appeared to be incomplete. The red and black ink was first thought to be berry or perhaps natural dye, but was later found to be human blood. Even more horrifically, it was the blood of a number of different people. Two of the Discovery team descended into madness upon finding 012. They attempted to use their own blood to finish the composition. This resulted in subsequent symptoms of psychosis and massive trauma. Those subjects who managed to finish a section of the piece of music immediately committed suicide. Many of their last words involved saying the piece was impossible to complete. In the years since its discovery, any attempts to perform the music have resulted in a horrific mess, with each instrument having no harmony whatsoever between each other. The music has only brought madness and death. The Foundation keeps it in a darkened room at all time, locked away where it can't hurt anyone. Moving on to number 4 now, we have SCP-3998. I'm not really sure how to start this one, if I'm honest. Basically, 3998 is a dead human body. The Foundation knows that 3998 died sometime in the late 17th century. It has no legs and is covered in 4th-degree burns. Sometime after its death, its remains were collected and fashioned into a scarecrow, held together by wicker, nails, and wire. Along with these severe burns, 3998 appears to have suffered blunt force trauma across its body. It constantly exudes a flammable liquid from its bones made of ethanol and human fat. Every night from 11 PM to 4 AM, 3998 ignites and is engulfed into flames. It's never harmed by the fire, but when not contained properly, the nearest person will spontaneously ignite. The people 3998 ignites are always those who have killed or physically abused a romantic partner. As its target is burning, large quantities of boiling ethanol appears in their stomach. They will vomit this up, which will ignite and further burn parts of their body. Meanwhile, their stomach violently ruptures, often splitting the victim literally in half as a result. This causes massive internal and external damage very quickly. Survivors are almost non-existent. Moving on to number 3 now, we have SCP-2539. Some roads you aren't supposed to go down. 2539 is a 3.1 kilometre stretch of road near Roehampton, New South Wales. People who drive down it disappear after about 500 metres and will later appear at the other end of the road 7 or 8 hours later. They will show signs of severe dehydration, even when given supplies beforehand to prevent this. It gets stranger though. Every single person has reported that during that drive, they stop for a highway patrol officer named Miriam Wells. Descriptions of this apparition match that of the real Miriam Wells, a patrol officer who disappeared in late 2009 on a routine patrol. She is usually described as wearing civilian clothes and attempting to ask for directions. In some cases, people report being able to convince the woman to join them in their vehicle. However, when they emerge from 2539 hours later, they find that in place of the woman is instead a heavily scorched and decomposed piece of human flesh in the storage compartment of the vehicle. The source of this is unknown, and the Foundation is continuing its investigation. Next up at number 2 now, we have SCP-1782. Frankly, I can't believe that I didn't include this one in a previous video. Maybe I saw it and just thought thought that it was too disturbing, but here it is anyway. 1782 is a room measuring 42 or 45 square meters in an abandoned apartment complex located in Kiev, Ukraine. The creepy thing about the room is that every 3 days at exactly 3:12 a.m., the room changes instantaneously. Perhaps the only thing the different versions of the room have in common is just how strange they are. The SCP monitored these changing rooms for a number of days. The first time, the report was, room materializes empty. The sound of metal scraping against metal can be heard. A disembodied female voice can be heard repeating the phrase, shakes me, makes me lighter, until 3:12 a.m. 3 days later, the room changed again, and the report read, room materializes empty. Sound does not travel through the interior, although upon further inspection, a small area on the left wall of the floor pan emits a faint metallic grating noise. 3 days after that, the report read, an elderly human feeding itself to a group of caterpillars.
Google and Facebook track you and save every piece of information they find, which is creepy. But not everyone is ready to give them up. For those of you who are still on the fence, here are 5 good reasons to dump Google and Facebook. 1. Hyper-targeted ads. You know those sketchy banners that follow you around asking if you're still interested in that itch cream you searched for last month? This is how Google and Facebook make money. Don't think these ads affect you? Google and Facebook allow advertisers to run countless tests until they find just the right manipulative psychological triggers that get you to click. 2. Propaganda and discrimination. These ads are used for far worse than just getting you to buy stuff. They're also used to influence your political opinions. Google and Facebook let advertisers slice and dice people into small groups, making it easy to target people with harmful, misleading messages that encourage stereotyping. And these same tools encourage discrimination. For example, by letting advertisers show jobs or housing to only certain kinds of people. 3. The filter bubble. Speaking of controlling which people see what, Google and Facebook manipulate your search results and newsfeed based on what they think you'll click on, and filter out the rest. So your search results are different from someone else doing the exact same search at the same time. When the facts are tailored, it disconnects people from reality and further divides our world. 4. They save everything. Google and Facebook keep your search history, browsing history, purchase history, location history, whatever they can get their hands on. And they're known to share personal information with governments for surveillance purposes. In the last year, Google has disclosed data on over 200,000 individual user accounts. 5. It's a bad deal. Google and Facebook are among the most profitable companies in the world, all from selling and exploiting your personal information. Does that seem fair to you? You don't have to settle for Google and Facebook's harmful practices. There are healthy alternatives you can use to search and connect with people, ones that don't violate your privacy. At DuckDuckGo, we believe your data shouldn't be for sale and can help you take back control of your personal information with our private search engine, as well as an app and browser extension that blocks Google and Facebook trackers. Getting the privacy you deserve online should be as simple as closing the blinds.
Poe did not express pain, appears ambivalent. The Foundation has set up a perimeter around 1782 to monitor it at all times. So far, only unmanned drones were allowed inside until they figure out whether this anomaly is a danger to people at large. And finally, number 1 now, we have SCP-082. 082 is genetically human, however, through some unknown process, it has grown to giant proportions. It is 8 feet tall and weighs over 700 pounds. It has disproportionate features, large round eyes and jaw, a bulbous nose and sunken eyes. Scans have shown countless bullets and several knife and saw blades lodged into 082's flesh. 082 refers to itself as Fernand and speaks fluent French and heavily accented English. It seems civil at first, but SCP-0823 has been known to attack people. It will interrupt conversations with a victim by just devouring their head. Its jaw is strong enough to crack bone, and it seems to enjoy biting down people's skulls. Attacks are seemingly random with no motivation whatsoever. Whether 082 has recently eaten seems to have no effect on its cannibalistic hunger. Well, there we go, another 10 SCPs in the bag. Some of you are still learning about the SCP Foundation.